5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, two topics left. You choose the takeover or Harry Maguire.
I'll go with the takeover. It's been very quiet last few days. I want to know what you know.
Who?
Okay, Andy is the guest, so I'll give him my vote.
Okay, let's go with the takeover. Interesting enough, first things first, I covered this yesterday. It's all about balance the scorecard in terms of the wage bill. Now, getting rid of David De Gea saved the club another 75 million, if you didn't know. So that adds to the transfer budget, if you didn't know. Forget about the FFP when it comes to going to the transfer market. If you're buying a player for 70 mil, right? That doesn't mean that the 70 mil goes on this year's budget, right? It doesn't, because you split up that 70 mil into 4 installments payment, whatever you come to agreement with the club. So that's not enough, right? What FFP looks at is the overall balance scorecard sheet in terms of the wages, right? So getting rid of De Gea was one thing. Club saved 75. They already gave an increase to Rashi, right? They're going to hire another goalkeeper for 120k a week. Personal terms agreed. That's Onana. That means that you can still bring in a player and have 75 million, right? Another interesting fact as well is I dug into it as well, and it's all right. Even if we get the Qataris coming in now in this transfer window, that means that barring that we're clearing the debts and everything, the creditors, the FFP still only allows you to pump in an extra 50, 60 million pounds into the transfer market. So that's the situation this year. Right. So my theory is, per my understanding as well, maybe it's not a theory, is that I think that why it's so quiet? Well, that exclusivity period has passed away. There's always been one, that Sheikh Jassim has agreed, everything. It's just down to the PR agency and the Glazers and everyone else to wait for the right moment. I did a little bit of a joke about it, like, makes sense in terms of, well, it creates a lot of clicks, creates a lot of tension. Media doesn't really know what to write anymore. They even coming up with stories that they will turn away and buy Spurs, for instance. That's absolutely BS, right? I call that a BS, right? Why would you be in a race and just walk away? If Qatar wants it, Qatar will get it. That's the thing. Now, knowing that you want to back Ten Hag seems to be in full control. I mean, we've seen the signings early July. Mason Mount, we're getting Onana in, moving quickly to Højlund. That's the 3 signings that we'll do for now. And then you will work on the midfielder, you will work on the striker position, X, Y, Z. So it doesn't really make sense when you think about it to have an announcement in the middle of a transfer season, transfer window. Why? Why do you think so?
Yeah, inflation and prices. Clubs will demand a high fee. Oh, you're mega rich. I tell you what, you can have him, but for $120 million, as Dr. Evil would say. Yeah.
I think I cracked the Da Vinci Code about thinking, like, okay, maybe they will announce it just after when the transfer window is closing, because all of a sudden, if you announce it in the middle of the transfer window, that means that everyone knows that you have cash. So that makes the job much, much harder for Murta and Co. to get rid of the outs, right? And to buy players. All of a sudden, people know that you have new, fresh money coming in, your new owners, new structure. They're going to extort you. Everyone knows that we have a budget to work on, 250 plus. If you sell on more players, 100. So you might end up having 350. So that Qatari money is not needed this window. Just, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, but if Qatar come in, you free up debt and you've got an extra, is it pay Adidas money, paying off Adidas? That's an extra. I've seen that. It's an extra 50 million, which can be added to a player. You get 2 players with that. Or you could have the, I mean, can United say we paid off Martial and Maguire, paid them off and they left?
I put my hand up.
Then rumours start Are Qatar in? Can Qatar pay them off privately without being announced? Can we do that? I don't.
Listen,
You don't know.
officially.
Unofficially, we can say, right, you're gone. We're paying you privately. There's a golden handshake there for Marshall. Go, just go. And we won't be announced after you're gone. There's your handshake, Maguire. There's your handshake, Marshall. Bang, Harry Kane, deadline day. Next day later, Qatar's announced. All the funds were ready 2 days before.
People will say, like, you know, look, this is not a news outlet, Bilal. Like, you know, it's my opinion, right? What you got to see that we are a fan channel that like to call a spade a spade. I know a lot of things, but nobody knows when the announcement will be. That is a total secrecy. Glazers as a family, they don't communicate. They made a pact to keep it very inside with the Glazers, right? They take decisions. But what I know is what I told you, that the arrangement has been agreed with the 92 Foundation, even when everyone, different reports, but that was 2 weeks ago to say that we are buying 69%. It is a multi-billion-dollar transaction. It takes time in terms of, listen, when you buy a car or a house, you got to check it properly so you don't buy the pig in the bag. That takes time. You got transactions to be taking place. You got a New York Stock Exchange, or the Class A, Class Bs. Actually, the Class Bs are the Glazer shares. That's already been agreed on, 69% on a premium price. The remaining is just, it's going to take time. Now, there might be very reasons why you're holding it back. And one of my theories, what I said, it's my opinion. It's not that I know, because nobody really knows. All I am saying is that I'm quite relaxed about this. You know, if you're going to start thinking about the takeover every single second, every day, I got to sort of, I spend half a day, like, you know, replying to DMs. I cannot do this anymore. All I'm saying is just, que sera, what will be, like, it will happen sooner or later. But when it's going to happen, I don't have a Scooby-Doo like the rest. The only ones that knows is pretty much the PR media agency that's handling this, the Glazers, and the Rain Group, pretty much. And rest assured that Rain Group, they're not going to stick around forever. They want to close this so they get its commission, 100%. That's how it works. So they basically pushed everyone, the Glazer family and the advisors, they pushed them to accept this bid, because that has hit the evaluation price, what they wanted. And it was always 6 billion. No matter what the press and media is saying, they went out for strategic investments. There's no such thing as the minority, because that minority has already been taking place. They looked under the hood. They saw, you've been running this to the ground. There's no way I'm going to give you $5 billion. Like, and this credit crisis, what we're living in right now. So the can has been kicked all the way to the wall. The back's against the wall. The Buccaneers is in crisis as well. They need to sell. And
I think you're right, because I think even the Rain Group are getting pretty naffed off with this. So Jim's getting naffed off. Qatar's getting naffed off. The Glazers are doing what they do best. They are naffing off people to the point. And a Rain Group are just gonna say, you can't drag this on anymore. We want paying. We want our commission. We want a decision. So
I don't want to get into this speculation. It's like, what I know is what I know, but that's it. Like, I'm sharing because I'm caring. But when it comes down to the announcement, I don't have a clue. And all I'm against is this spin clickbait stuff, like what you see. I'm not going to mention names and channels and stuff like that, but creating this narrative, negative stuff. And, you know, I don't particularly like what this clickbait media is also trying to do, like, you know, to spin this around to say, well, they're going to walk away, they're going to buy Spurs and any other Premier League club and stuff like that. It's
they're just trying to, they're grasping at straws. I've seen some of that comments yesterday about it's just like, we are totally naffed off. We don't want to print anything. I don't want to listen to anything the press say in this country, because you don't trust any of them. I don't believe any of them, with respect.
But Andy, I do respect creative people. I do respect people in this industry living next door. Alice, I love Alice to pieces. I had Alice on the channel.
I'm a journalist.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying that there is a channel that is the biggest channel on in this fan community that I'm getting really annoyed with their headlines, basically what they're trying to put, like, you know, transfer crisis. You've seen it. I'm not going to mention.
Oh yeah, we know it.
I'm not gonna, because I do have respect, but at the end of the day, like, you know, if anyone donates a money to have a super chat, the guy doesn't even display it. He's just prattling them off, like, you know, if you don't like it, you know, swivel on it and stuff like that. And
You're
I
playing
just
on
don't like
fear.
that.
They're using fear to their advantage to create clickbait and drum up the likes. That's all it is. They say you may promote the right stories and you may promote like the glory, but you're just playing on. You're just as bad as the press. Just as bad as the press. You are every morning. Yeah, like people wake up in the morning with a spring in the step. Switch on YouTube. You're like, for God's sake, I don't need to see that.
No, there was big up to Jay yesterday, who had Simon Stone on that. Did you watch that interview, by the way?
Yeah, I did. I watched. I was glued to the telly watching that with a cup of tea before.
It's good to see Simon Stone, like, you know, just in flesh like this, talking
that was
like
a
general flesh.
Yeah, that was a coup. That, like I say, I was like, what? I had to I just got in from the football watching Droylsden, and I just like, I've got to watch this, and I watched it for a good hour. Sat down, listening to everything.
He spoke a lot of good sense regarding the transfer market and exactly singing the same hymn shit that I'm singing. But when it comes to the takeover, he didn't want to get involved with that. He was just like, I don't know, I'm speculating. Maybe he got them fired up and say maybe they will look for a Spurs or some other Premier League club. He didn't say definitely, right? And that caught on. But when he spoke about the transfer market and how agents and the staff is working, this was spot on. This is one I get in my hats on. Now, when it comes to the summer window, it's absolutely true that manager has a persona profile that he wants to play for a certain position. He's got a team of analysts that sits there and scouts, that puts in the data and outspits like, oh, this matches your requirements, like an Erling Haaland or Højlund, etc., XYZ. So that creates the shortlist in for each position. That is absolutely spot on. He's the first journalist that from an intermediate perspective, that I've heard speaking about this. So I said, hats off, pick up, you know your shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but he also said something, what I also said, that if Harry Kane, I mean, he thinks that they will go for the younger striker and then in January or next year, get this senior striker in. He reckons we will get by with what we got.
That's true, but after Harry Kane, to get, who is there? Osman? Do you really want to take the chance? Can he do it? There's not many strikers out there.
Osman is good.
Harry Kane, you could get 5 years, the next 5 to 6 years with Harry Kane.
No, maybe the thing is, I don't rate Osman for one season at Napoli. Like, he's Serie A. I mean, the boy's got talent. It's Serie A, right? He's another. I don't know.
He's got to do it again. He's got to do it again with Napoli. Yeah. For them to do it again, Napoli must win the Scudetto or the Champions League. And then they say they were favourites to do both, and he fell short against AC Milan, didn't they?
It's 150 million.
He has to do it again in a Serie A and in the Champions League.
It's another Lukaku. It can be another Lukaku story.
He has to carry it on. Yeah, he could be.
Yeah. So the interlink, what Inter Milan is trying to do, of course, with Onana, is to get as much money they can, so that they want to actually buy back Lukaku from Chelsea, right? He doesn't want to go back to Chelsea at all, right? So he's happy. He's a slower league. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
He was a flop in the Premier League. He didn't make it. Like, we bought him. He was all right.
I won't be surprised if United still owed money from it by Inter Milan. When we
he could have scored in the Champions League final, but he did a Lukaku.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that was prime Lukaku. He's like, for God's sake.
Alien Tennis saying Osman failed Napoli when they needed him. So it's what I call, like, you know.
It's a little harsh on the Osman. To be fair, he was injured and he didn't train for weeks, and they just chalked him on the field and hoped for the best in the semi-final or the quarterfinal for Napoli.
Finals, he fell like that. Yeah. That's what cost them. You lose your star man, you're going to struggle, and AC Milan exploited it. So they were saving most of their squad in the Serie A. Was it AC Milan beating 4-0 at Napoli? and they rested half the team. They rested half the team for the Champions League tie. So
Okay. No, fantastic. We covered that. I'm grateful for this BS discussions and all that stuff. I'm still calling the British media BS at the end of the day. What I'm saying is the silent before the perfect storm, right? There's plenty of reasons why the delay is, and I mentioned a couple of reasons what I believe is the reason. It's more of a tactical reason. Why would you go out and say you have money in the transfer window when you're playing? United is kind of playing now right now to not be overpaying things, if you noticed, right? So they're going into the strategy to get good deals, save some money, and if you save some money, you might have afford to get a Harry Kane at the end of the window. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense to, for me, it does not make sense to announce a new ownership in the middle of a transfer window, right? It would make sense before the transfer window, but it's been dragged on. It could be, for me, they are already acting like they're being sold, like they're moving very fast in the window. Ten Hag has full control of who, selling off Harry Maguire is also one thing, right? So we're going to talk about Harry Maguire because he mentioned something very interesting, our friend there, Simon Stone, in that, would people not talk about it? And then I said big up, because at the end of the day, his agency is advising. So what you're going to do about, I got 2 years left on my contract. You got to pay me out. Plus, you got to buy somebody else for my position. Maybe not. Maybe we will have a youngster there, right? Guys, he needs to go. He cannot sit there and stink up the place. He cannot be another. I call it BS, right? If he wants to play for England Euros, Jesus, have some fucking ambition and dignity. Walk out.
Yeah, definitely.
Enough is enough.
I seen a picture with him and Carvalho training and all that. Training in summer camp in Portugal, ready to fight for my place. But
Yeah.
Look,
he's doing Rocky Balboa, like
Rocky Balboa is like there's not wrong. There's not wrong with wanting to be like that and do that. But when you know you're going to be fourth, fifth choice, you may get a Carabao Cup game. You may see out a game and come on for the last 10 minutes if we're just getting pressured and just take out.
But Andy, you should check out this guy Mick Rubinstein's report. It's brilliant. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
To see it. Yeah,
yes. It's on a short on my channel there, Mick Rubinstein. There.
I'll be watching it before I go Bobo.
It's a little short clip about Harry Maguire and the transfer market, right? That's it. May the Schwartz be with you. See, it's all about who's got the biggest ding dong in this situation. You know what I mean? To show, like, But I'm saying that if Ten Hag, don't kid us, right? If Ten Hag managed to get Cristiano Ronaldo out the door, what do you believe that? But doesn't he have any confidence that he cannot get Harry Maguire out the door? If he doesn't want him, he doesn't want him. That's it. He's not going to play him. It's just it. You're not going to play him. That's it. He's summoning. I mean,
look at the hair. Yeah. Look at the hair. That's it.
Yeah. So apparently, he's summoning him and his agent this week to have conversations about his future. To say, either he's going to say, "You're not going with us on the tour. That's it. We don't want you to get injured. We want you to be on the market to be sold. We're not going to play you." And his agent is going to say, "Well, then you have to pay us for breaking the contract." He said, "Whatever. You fix the situation."
If he doesn't go on the tour, then some shit's going down. Definitely. If he doesn't get on that plane,
but the delays as well. Like, we mentioned the linkage that Arsenal still dilly-dallying with 105 million for. It's not even done for Declan Rice. That money was reported that West Ham is going to use. David Moyes is going to bring him over.
So they've agreed it, but they've not put him. They've not put the medical through. Has he done a medical, Declan Rice?
No.
So could United gazump it?
They could.
As long as it's not signed, everything is possible.
Hi, Jack. Hi, Jack. How are you doing?
Hi, Jack.
Ding dong. Hi, Jack. It happened, right? Kino weekend. What happened with Kino of the weekend?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anything could happen, guys. Maguire for Kane plus a few quid. True that. Yeah, true that. Definitely Spurs needs a few. Maybe they can have some of our Deadwood as well because they have a new manager that needs reinforcement.
Harry Kane, Maguire, Sancho, 40 million.
Wicked. Guys, that we call it bullshit, but I would like to call it the truth. I would like to see that after this week, what will be happening with Harry Maguire. If he doesn't go on US tour, he's toast, pretty much, right? Donny van de Beek, I saw him as well. I still think that he will have a lifeline under Tenhag. I saw the training picture there. Daddy and son was talking, he was holding him like this. Amrabat is just as good as Rice, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. In my opinion, he
Fair
is.
enough,
Regarding-
fair enough. From my personal opinion, I'm just saying I like Declan Rice. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, fine. I'd rather pay 25 mil for Amrabat
Fair
than a Declan Rice. That's the thing. And the fact is that Arsenal are looking to offload like Jorginho or both Jorginho or Partey to get Rice. It's not worth it. Just get 25 million Amrabat. That's it. Having to said that, from a club's perspective, the main focus is to get Onana in this week. Hopefully, we'll get him this week, right? That is almost here we run, not here we go. Here we run. We at Channel we have a new slogan. Here we run, and then move on to the striker, which is Rasmus Højlund. I think that if it's a potential from Amrabat, that will be later on in a couple of weeks' time, and a revisit to a potential, I don't know, another striker maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think first we will go for after the Onana, we'll go for the Højlund, and after Højlund, we'll go for a midfielder. That's. But we know we can't do more than one deal at once. That's our club. We move slow.
That's about to change, my dear Jarvis. That's about to change. But trust me, when pundits, reporters are coming out to say that the biggest signing, the game-changing signing for United is Onana, that is like signing a striker. That is a game changer because if you see the pass accuracy of that guy, short passes, long passes, oh my God. I just tell you that it's a game changer, right? And the team's going to play differently with him and with Mason Mount. And if you add on another, like, Højlund, that's got pace as well. So we will see. It's not going to be a disaster window, but I feel giddy, Andy. I feel giddy for some reason, like a kid in the candy shop. We see.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he mentioned it, but Everton is apparently interested in Anthony Elanga. So
yes.
I saw Fabrizio was mentioning it. So that's one.
Are we talking loan or permanent deal?
I think it's permanent deal.
Yeah, what's it? Everton signed Ashley Young, and they're interested in Tom Eaton. So a couple of oldie boys there. So, but might be a decent move for Anthony Elanga. It's sort of level. He could. Obviously, United will maybe negotiate a selling on fee as well.
Right.
To keep it respectful and extra couple of quid coming in the coffers in the future. So it's possible, yeah.
Guys, it's been fantastic stream. Thank you. No bullshit today. We called a spade a spade. Andy, brilliant of you as well. Thank you, Jay. You went to sleep. It's going to be up nice and early in the morning. Friday, we are doing announcement. We're going to do the birthday party. Obviously, midday. I don't know. It depends on Jarvis as well. It's going to be some stream. Hopefully, I pray to Superman. Don't give me kryptonite, guys. If you're watching this, please, if you haven't subscribed, this will be the perfect birthday gift to reach to 15K, right? I don't know how many are. Last time I checked, we were 80 people away from reaching a goal. If you know people that love Manchester United, just tell them to subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And you will see people like these guys here gassing it up as well.
Yes.
Listen, peace, love, bananas, like and subscribe. And I hope there's been some great Looney Tunes. It's Mick Ruby, Mufc Realist TV, Andy Tate, Jarvis Cocker, and it was Jay Daly. Take it easy.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.